What's going on, guys? Check this out. This is a toolbox that I am going to convert into a camera gear box and take to the studio. And some info about the studio coming in a second, but let's head out and go take some pictures. But first, today's episode is sponsored by Squarespace.com. If you're looking for a place to house your travel photography website, blog, or maybe sell some prints, Squarespace has a lot of really beautiful templates that make creating a professional looking website really, really easy. So head to squarespace.com/Brendan Vanson and you'll get a discount on your first purchase. Okay, this week has been kind of crazy, but also, I don't know, kind of like procrastinating. Jody and I have had a busy week because we got our business incorporated finally, which means that in a couple days we get to open our studio. Well, we'll get the keys to it. So it's been kind of like a little bit busy, but also it poured rain here for 2 days, so I couldn't go out and film. And now I'm procrastinating. It's only like 2 hours until sunset, and I wanted to go do some photography. So I'm heading to Praia da Luz, which is just literally 15 minutes away. It's one of the most popular places for tourists to go, and I've never been there. So I have no idea what to expect. I haven't done any research. I haven't looked at any maps. I just know there's a place tourists go. So that's where we're gonna go. Okay, I made it to Praia da Luz. Admittedly, I'm a bit of a travel snob in that if something's like a touristy place, well, I kind of dismiss it right away without ever going to check it out. And so that's kind of what I've done with Praia da Luz. But like I said, I've never been here. And usually when I go to touristy places, I find out there's a reason they're touristy. So yeah, that's about it. I'm here and I have no idea what I'm gonna find out. There are some cool clouds behind me. There is not clouds out towards the horizon, so I don't know what the light's gonna do, but I'm just gonna wander around. Wow, it turns out it is way different than I expected. I was expecting just a big, long beach. And I mean, it's called Praia da Luz, Beach of Light. But there's no beach here. It's all this rock that's really beautiful. And unfortunately, the tide's coming up, so it might be a little bit hard to try to photograph it. But it is really cool. You've got gnarly seas here, cliff walls, and then this rock that dives out into the sea. Probably shouldn't have given up on a location before visiting, because this is actually really cool. So I'm gonna keep exploring along the cliff edges and yeah, see what else we see. Yeah, so it turns out it's pretty cool here. I think there's definitely a couple photos, but it's gonna be hard to see what actually turns into a photo as the tide comes up. There's a couple shots that look like a really obvious mid-tide photo, but when the tide rises, it might hide some of the foreground. So I'm gonna have to walk around and see. It looks like the beach, the praia is over here. And yeah, honestly, it's cool here. I guess I shouldn't judge a book by the fact that it's a tourist destination. This is really, really different than I expected. Lots of really cool foregrounds for photos. If I can get a sky here, this place could be just perfect. And I could find myself here quite a bit, I think. As I get my camera gear ready, this is just the fastest review ever of this little drone. This is the Mavic Mini. Last video I introduced it. I like it for what I need right now, but I definitely don't think it's a beginner's drone. It's sold that way, but it's definitely not, because you lose connection really fast. You don't have a stable video feed because it's on Wi-Fi, and it doesn't fly super good in the wind either. So because of that, it almost works better for somebody who's like pretty experienced flying drones. I think for a first drone, you're better off getting like a Mavic 2, which has really good connections. It has sensors everywhere, so it's hard to crash. There's no sensors on this except for on the bottom. Yeah, I just think you're better off buying the better one with better sensors and better safety capabilities and all that stuff. I think it's just gonna be easier for you to fly. But if you really wanna learn how to fly, it's a fun little toy, and actually the footage comes out really cool. So yeah, let's take some pictures. I think it's gonna be a pretty simple photo. I've got the 15 to 35 on. Hopefully some of these clouds stay over my shot, and hopefully some cool foreground. Let's do it. So when I'm shooting landscapes, I tend to set everything up before I set it on the tripod. I'll set up my filters, I'll have a look and kind of guess what the exposure should be. And then I throw on live view, and I literally just walk around holding my camera in different compositions, trying to find the shot. So I'm walking around. I'm gonna struggle a little bit with light because there's some shadow, and my shadow, you can see, maybe you can't see, my shadow is right in the middle of my frame. So I'm gonna have to take the picture and run. I gotta get out of my frame for a change. And honestly, I think this is gonna be an easy photo or a simple photo. Set up somewhere cool, half second, maybe a full second, try to time a wave, and let's make a photo. So I say sometimes that you're not trying hard enough if you don't get wet feet. I just took things a little bit farther, and I have a wet microphone, so I'm not even sure the audio is really working well. Check, 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 microphone check. Soaked it with water. There is a lot of really beautiful foreground here, and I gotta keep my eye on the sea because every now and then it jumps. As the tide's coming up, it's a little bit scary. Taking pictures with your camera and filming. But I think I found a nice foreground here that kind of creates a whole wide composition. And I'm just waiting for the right wave to come up over top and then retreat back. As it's retreating, I think I'll get kind of a waterfall effect coming back this way. I'm going 1 second, F11, and then I've got a 3-stop ND on and a 4-stop hard grad ND, or a medium grad ND actually. And basically I just have it on high speed mode, and then just lightly I hold down the shutter as the wave comes up and hope that I catch that right moment. It's pretty simple, to be honest. You just have to be willing to get a little bit wet, and I think this might be my wave here. No, not enough power. Come on, wave. I'm just gonna literally move up a couple steps. One of my favorite things about doing seascape photography in general is there's always a shot, first of all, even if it's just a simple shot out to sea. But when you go out and shoot, it's not like a prepped shot. It's not like a big vista that you know is already gonna be there and then you just plug in the figures. You have to play with the tides. You have to kind of guess what the sea is gonna do. And you never get the same photo as somebody else because the seas are gonna be different. The tides are gonna be different. Everything's gonna be a little bit different. And yeah, I absolutely love seascape photography for that reason. So hopefully we get a better one than we just got, and hopefully some of these clouds start working their way into the photo a bit more. So what I want to preach right now is the rule of does it look cool? Because there's no rule of composition that's followed here at all. I got maybe my horizon at a third and maybe the foreground at a third, but other than that, everything leads the wrong way. It kind of leads to an empty sky, but it doesn't matter because it looks cool. So use like the rules of composition to help yourself find a great photo. But if you see a photo that you think is great without using the rules, just take it and forget the rules. I've got this foreground, it's quite simple. Like I said, everything's pointing out. And I've got the same settings, f11, 1 second, ISO 100, and then just waiting for a wave again like this. I watch the wave come in, and then as it retreats like this, that's when I hit it. I find that just gives you the nicest image, so that's why I do it that way. Sometimes I will shoot the waves coming up as well, but for this photo, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so it's 10 minutes until sunset and I'm gonna do something silly. I'm leaving my photo that's, I think, good because the clouds have gone, and heading somewhere to shoot straight into backlight because there's clouds. So, bit of a risky move, but hopefully it pays off. Okay, I'm gonna try not to fall in the water here because it's not dangerous, I would just be wet. I'm not sure how much I care about this composition, but the water here is so active that I don't think it matters because I think it's gonna look cool regardless. I've taken off my 3-stop. I've switched to f16 because I have like a lot of stuff that needs to be in focus. And then I'm shooting at about a 0.4 seconds because I want to capture some more of the motion. I might even drop it down to ISO 200 and then 0.2 seconds just to get even more of this motion. And then when the waves come in again, I'm just firing, spraying and praying and hoping it works. I think also I'm going to put on a polarizer. The sky's just not behaving. The clouds have all disappeared. I think this is a cool spot though. I might come back and photograph this maybe at sunrise or when there's supposed to be more clouds. And I'll be back at it again with another video. I don't have a schedule at all. I'm just posting whenever I feel like posting right now. So be sure to hit that notification bell and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.